I'm Zahir, Kelvin Abdullah, and this is Nightline. The top stories: relief for Malaysians as Prime Minister rules out RON95 fuel price increase. And Malaysia to send special delegation to Myanmar amid deepening turmoil. Good morning. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim has given his assurance that the government will not raise the price of RON95 petrol for Malaysians. He also acknowledged that there had been previous proposals to raise fuel prices, but these were rejected by him and the cabinet in the interest of the people's well-being.
Kita tidak setuju menaikkan harga minyak. Harga minyak boleh diturun sedikit demi sedikit mengikut keadaan harga semasa. Tetapi harga minyak mesti dinaikkan bagi orang asing.
Anwar, who is also PKR president, said this when winding up the debate on his policy speech at the party's National Congress held in Johor Bahru on Saturday. He noted that there are approximately 4 million foreign nationals in the country who are benefiting from up to 4 billion ringgit in fuel subsidies. Therefore, he stated that there is no issue with subsidy rationalisation being targeted at these groups, including the ultra-wealthy.
Kalau kita nak kenakan, kita kenakan yang mungkin yang teratas 5%. Yang paling kaya, yang maha kaya. Orang itu tak bising pun. Dia gunakan ahli-ahli parlimen 2-3 orang yang akan menjadi jurucakap dia. Jurucakap ahli parlimen pembangkang ni banyak yang jurucakap maha kaya.
The government's decision to maintain the price of RON95 petrol is seen as a timely move amid global economic uncertainty. Economists believe the move lays the groundwork for the implementation of targeted RON95 petrol subsidies, which could help ease the burden on the people. Associate Professor Erwan Shah Zainal Abidin of University Utara Malaysia described the move as being in line with the current needs of the people and the nation.
This is not the right time to retargeting the RON95 subsidy due to the fact that we know that we are facing a very uncertain situation and a very daunting challenge of the reciprocal tariff from the United States.
He added that the government must prioritize strengthening the domestic economy and safeguarding the people's welfare, especially in light of challenges stemming from retaliatory tariffs imposed by the United States. Meanwhile, Associate Professor Lee Chin from the School of Business and Economics at University Putra Malaysia believes that the decision will help maintain price stability and lessen the impact of inflation on the public.
It gives the government room to introduce targeted subsidies gradually without burdening lower and middle income groups. It's a balanced and responsible approach.
She also said that the government's decision is expected to provide relief to those still struggling with the pressures of high living costs. Meanwhile, the Federation of Malaysian Consumers Association, FOMCA, welcomes the Prime Minister's assurance that the government will not raise the price of RON95 for Malaysians. Its Secretary General Saravanan Tambiraja also called on Malaysians to support the government's efforts to implement targeted subsidies to ensure assistance reach those in need.
The government must ensure a transparent and well-communicated system, possibly requiring MyCard or RON95 purchases, which can help to prevent misuse while avoiding confusion or chaos at petrol stations.
He also said that funds generated from the implementation of targeted subsidies should be channeled towards improving education, healthcare, and public transport. In a separate development, Anwar, during his winding-up speech, also addressed the issue of his daughter, Nurul Izzah, being elected as PKR Deputy President. While rejecting claims of nepotism linked to his family's involvement in the party, Anwar stressed that the years of commitment and contributions he and his family made to PKR clearly prove such accusations are baseless.
Orang mangkit lah, oh ini isteri, anak, iyalah. masa kita bertempur dulu, mana ada kongres, mana ada perbincangan panjang. Siapa yang nak pegang obor? Jadi saya serahkan begitu saja. Saya masuk penjara. Ada dana? Ada. Jentera? Ada. Masa itu tak bertimbul keluarga dan nepotisme.
The PKR president added that while he had chosen his wife, Datuk Sri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail, to lead the party during his imprisonment, Nurul Izzah's rise came through party elections reflecting the will of the members.
Azizah ya, saya pilih. Azizah ya, pada masa itu, saya terpaksa ambil keputusan segera. Tapi Nurul Izzah itu sudah dipilih. Jadi saya ingat teruskan kerja.
At the party polls on Friday, Nurul Izzah was elected as PKR's new number 2 after securing 9,803 votes, defeating the incumbent Datuk Sri Rafizi Ramli, who received 3,866 votes. Meanwhile, Anwar also touched on the upcoming Sabah state election, emphasizing that discussions involving all relevant parties to finalize seat allocations are currently ongoing. He added that the PKR Political Bureau is likely to convene a special meeting on May 29 to discuss preparations for the Sabah polls.
Setakat ini, saya telah berunding dengan Presiden UMNO dan Barisan Nasional, Datuk Seri Zahir, dan juga saya bincang juga dengan Datuk Seri Haji Ji, Ketua Menteri Sabah dan pemimpin JRS untuk memastikan kerjasama boleh dilakukan dengan syarat suatu pengiktirafan tentang usaha keadilan dan PH supaya diberikan peluang untuk bersama-sama bekerja memperjuangkan dan membela nasib rakyat Sabah.
Now, in her maiden speech as PKR's newly elected deputy president, Nurul Izzah said that the party is aiming to contest at least 13 seats in the upcoming Sabah state election.
Saya minta target kita adalah kita kena minta Datuk Seri Presiden bila berunding 13 kerusi minimum lah untuk negeri Sabah, boleh tak?
At the same time, she stressed that PKR must allocate at least 40% of the seats it contests in elections to candidates from among women and young people. Malaysia will soon send a special delegation to hold talks with Myanmar's State Administration Council (SAC) as part of continuing ASEAN efforts to help resolve the ongoing crisis in the country. Foreign Minister Datuk Sri Mohamad Hassan stated that during the meeting, Malaysia, in its capacity as ASEAN chair, will convey the requests of stakeholders who recently met with ASEAN representatives in Kuala Lumpur directly to Myanmar's military-led government.
ASEAN, we plan again to go to Myanmar to visit and to talk because we have already met with people for the respective stakeholders. We know what is their wish list. Now that we want to present it to the SAC, the wish list of the stakeholders. So nanti kita tengok pula apa feedback ataupun apa maklum balas daripada pihak SAC. Ini rundingan ini bukan sekali dua kali, perlu dilakukan banyak supaya persepahaman terhadap antara satu sama lain itu dapat dibina.
Mohamad said this during a doorstep interview after 2 separate informal consultation sessions with ASEAN foreign ministers and senior officials on the 5-point consensus 5PC that was agreed upon by ASEAN to address the crisis. He added that ASEAN should take action as the conflict in Myanmar has affected the bloc's member states in various ways, including issues related to refugees and cross-border crime. Meanwhile, ASEAN senior officials meeting SOM convened on Saturday in preparation for the 46th ASEAN Summit. Discussions included Timor-Leste's bid for full membership in the 10-nation bloc, as well as the 5PC on addressing the ongoing crisis in Myanmar. Both issues are expected to be further deliberated at the ASEAN Foreign Ministers meeting on Sunday. The meeting, chaired by Foreign Ministry Secretary General Dr. Sri Amran Mohammad Zin, officially commenced at 8:30 a.m., bringing together ASEAN, SOM leaders and Timor-Leste's SOM representatives to align positions on key regional issues ahead of the sessions involving ASEAN heads of state and government.
Isu-isu di bawah ASEAN Regional Forum, ARF, langkah-langkah yang sedang kita ambil untuk revitalize, perkukuhkan kerjasama di bawah platform ASEAN Regional Forum.
The meeting also discussed preparations for the East Asia Summit, EAS, scheduled for next month, which will involve ASEAN plus 3, namely Japan, China and South Korea. On Sunday, ASEAN foreign ministers will begin their deliberations as part of preparations for 3 key summits taking place next Monday and Tuesday. These are the 46th ASEAN Summit, the 2nd ASEAN Gulf Cooperation Council GCC Summit, and the inaugural ASEAN GCC China Summit. Students who score 10 A's and above in their Sijil Pelajaran Malaysia SPM examination will be awarded full scholarships to study at University Kuala Lumpur UniKL and University Polytech Mara UPTM. Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Sri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi said the students would be eligible for the scholarships if they choose to further their studies at either institution.
Tetapi saya mahu juga memberi peluang kepada yang 5A hingga 10A untuk diberikan tempat. Bagaimana yang mendapat 3 kredit sahaja? Mereka tidak berpeluang untuk melanjutkan pelajaran. Jangan risau. Kita ada TVET.
Zahid said this in his speech after launching the national-level Yayasan Pelajaran Mara YPM Squad in Kuantan, Pahang on Saturday. The YPM Squad is a strategic initiative designed to strengthen youth for a greater role as agents of change in social, educational and community development. The Selangor State Government is reviewing the implementation of No Plastic Bag campaign at all premises and business sectors in the state. State Executive Councillor for Public Health and Environment, Jamaliah Jamaluddin, stated that the review is being conducted to assess the need to either increase the charge or completely ban the use of plastic bags. According to Jamaliah, the 20-cent charge imposed by the state government is too low compared to the RM1 fee charge in Pulau Pinang, which was introduced on March 1st. She emphasized that if the ban policy is finalized, traders will no longer be allowed to provide plastic bags even with a charge of 50 cents or RM1. However, the decision will only be announced after consulting stakeholders with legal considerations taken into account. Since the introduction of the plastic-free campaign in 2010, the state government has collected RM22 million in plastic bag charges, primarily from supermarkets. Caged and spray-painted, monkey abuse sparks NGO uproar. This and more after the break.
Nak kerja buat apa? Ni aku nak buka bisnes kopi untuk kita ni.
Konsep bisnes kita ni mewah. Biji kopi tu sini kena rare.
Drama bersiri sulung Nik Amir Mustafa.
Aku rasa aku tak boleh jual lah band ni.
Lelaki tak bercerita, tapi diam-diam je. Move on. Bina life baru.
Tapi perangai you macam...
Tepi. Ya, you tak apa, you okay.
Muat turun dan layan tonton sekarang. Semua favourite anda di sini. Aktiviti fizikal bantu meningkatkan kesihatan secara menyeluruh.
Kadang-kadang nampak je sihat, tapi bila buat senaman tiba-tiba dia pengsan. Jadi buat pemeriksaan.
Namun bukan sekadar fizikal, kekuatan juga pada jiwa yang tidak mudah goyah.
Kebaikan yang kita perolehi dari segi fizikal, seseorang mungkin berasa lebih yakin diri dari segi penampilan.
Kuat bukan sekadar otot. Kami huraikan dalam Hello Doktor, Ahad 5.30 petang di TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
Hari Ahad malamlah paling best nak layan filem-filem blockbuster di TV3. Syarami! Cintan-cintun luar angkasa pun ada.
It's gonna be okay.
Are you serious?
Dead serious.
Berdebar tak berdebar ni? Layan filem-filem hebat Mei ini di TV3 Blockbuster dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
Diri saya ni sebelah ni dah tak ada fungsi dah. Satu lantai tu. Dan bangkit tu letak je bontot terus tumbang. Saya dah tak ingat apa dah.
Kadang-kadang saya terputus juga makanan, kadang hanya sekadar nasi goreng kosong dengan bawang goreng.
In Johor, an elderly couple were killed after the car they were travelling in crashed into a trailer in Batu Pahat on Saturday. 69-year-old Mazlan Belia died upon arrival at the Sultanah Nora Ismail Hospital, while his wife, 73-year-old Radin Fauzia Radin Ahmad, succumbed to injuries while receiving treatment at the same hospital. In the 9:25 a.m. accident, the couple were travelling from Parit Raja to Parit Abdul Rahman when the car, driven by Mazlan, is believed to have rammed into the rear of the trailer at the traffic light intersection on Jalan Bindu. A team of 12 firefighters was deployed to the scene after they were alerted to the crash at 9:33 a.m. Upon arrival, rescuers found both victims trapped inside their vehicle. The team successfully extricated the victims before handing them over to the medical personnel for further action. An animal rights activist has called for stern action to be taken on the man who allegedly spray-painted a monkey in a cage. Execute AWA founder Sue Ann Kong believes that the authorities must be swift and fair in their investigation to ensure that appropriate action is taken against the perpetrator.
We clearly feel immune to the laws and regulations of the country for crimes against animals. They clearly feel like there is immunity, and they clearly acknowledge that the lack of enforcement of Animal Welfare Act 2015 against perpetrators of crimes against animals is absent. That's why they have such courage to just to demonstrate that extent of cruelty against animals.
Earlier, a 1-minute video of the incident went viral on social media, showing a man spraying what appears to be paint onto a monkey already covered in blue, which sparked anger from animal lovers. Meanwhile, police confirmed that a report has been lodged regarding the incident by a veterinary officer from the Betaling district at around 2:10 a.m. on Friday. Sungai Buloh Police Chief Superintendent Muhammad Hafiz Muhammad Noor said the incident is believed to have occurred at Taman Desa Mokis in Shah Alam, Selangor. Preliminary investigations led to the case being referred to the Department of Veterinary Services and the Department of Wildlife and National Parks, Perhilitan, for further action. Perhilitan have also lodged another police report and have detained a man suspected to be involved in the incident. The case is being investigated under the Wildlife Conservation Act. Title drought ends as men's doubles title in the bag. The details when Nightline returns.
Lepas meletup tu, bumbung saya dah bunyi macam hujan batu betul. Bising! Saya tak sangka rumah saya akan terbakar.
Cepat! Saya bersama anggota dan juga bantuan penduduk yang ada, kita keluarkan masa ke jalan yang paling hampir tu. Hampir keseluruhan belakang tu memang dia melecur lah. Itu Mengenal pasti sampel tu adalah penting supaya kita boleh menjurus kepada punca sebenarnya.
Keadaan bertambah rumit apabila cuaca hujan melambatkan siasatan.
Filem Ejen Ali yang kedua ni saya rasa saya nampak sendiri dari segi hasil kualiti dia sebuah filem yang bermutu, menyamai standard filem-filem antarabangsa. Dan kepada ibu bapa, saya sarankan bawa anak-anak, cucu ke program untuk menyaksikan filem ini. Anda tidak akan rasa kecewa kerana filem ini adalah sebuah filem lokal tempatan yang saya respect kerana mempunyai kualiti yang tinggi dari segi making.
Temui keanggunan, ketabahan dan suara wanita yang menggerakkan dunia.
Kita nak jadi seseorang yang mungkin boleh bantu kenali dia, how kita nak jadi voice of the voiceless sebab dia tak boleh nak bercakap. So sometimes benda macam ni orang tak ambil cakna.
Macam abang fikir macam tak pernah fikir masa abang tau.
Yang berlakon saya, yang glamour saya, bukan isteri saya, bukan anak saya. Saya nak peminat saya meletakkan Rosyamno dalam hati dia.
Nona hanya di TV3 dan stream eksklusif ditonton.
Hari Ahad malamlah paling best nak layan filem-filem blockbuster di TV3. Syarat! Cintan-cintun luar angkasa pun ada.
It's gonna be okay.
Are you serious?
Dead serious.
Berdebar tak berdebar ni? Layan filem-filem hebat Mei ini di TV3 Blockbuster dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
Turning to foreign news now, the European Union has vowed to defend its interests after US President Donald Trump threatened a 50% tariff on all EU imports. Trump made the announcement on social media and said talks with the EU are going nowhere, as he warned that the tariffs could begin as early as June 1st. The EU's top trade official, Markos Sefcovic, said the bloc remains committed to a fair deal, but stressed that trade must be guided by mutual respect, not threats. Trump said he was not looking for a deal and added the rate is set at 50% unless European companies boost investment in the US. Meanwhile, European leaders called for de-escalation but said the bloc is ready to respond if needed. The threat has since shaken markets with stock indexes in both the US and Europe posting losses, as Trump also floated a 25% import tax on iPhones not made in America. Over in Germany, at least 18 people have been injured in a knife attack at Hamburg's Central Station, with several victims in life-threatening condition. Police say the attack happened at around 6 p.m. local time on Friday during evening rush hour at one of Germany's busiest transport hubs. A 39-year-old German woman was arrested at the scene and remains in custody, with police believing she acted alone and was possibly in a state of mental distress. Investigators have found no political motive so far, but homicide detectives are leading the inquiry into the suspect's actions. In other news, Vietnam has ordered telecommunication providers to block the popular messaging app Telegram, citing its failure to cooperate in criminal investigations and the spread of so-called poisonous and bad information. Authorities on Friday claimed nearly 70% of local Telegram channels host content linked to anti-state activities, drug trafficking and even terrorism, and accused the platform of refusing to share user data requested by police. Meanwhile, Telegram, which has about 12 million users in Vietnam, said it was surprised by the move, adding that it is still processing the government's request with a response due by May 27. Sports now, badminton and the 2025 Malaysia Masters. It's a jubilant day for Malaysians as a men's doubles title is already in the bag, with two home pairs set to face off in Sunday's final. Backed by a capacity crowd at the Axiata Arena, Asian champions Aaron Chia and So Woo Yik took 63 minutes to tame defending champions Kim Estrup and the Skarup Rasmussen of Denmark, winning 21-19, 17-21, 21-15. The win sets up an all-Malaysian final against compatriots Man Wei Chong and T Kai Woon, guaranteeing Malaysia's first men's doubles title at the Malaysia Masters since 2013, when Goh Wee Shem and Lim Kim Wah emerged triumphant. Earlier, Wei Chong and Kai Woon booked their spot in the final in style, dismantling 2021 world champions Takuro Hoki and Yugo Kobayashi of Japan 21-12, 21-14. It will be the Malaysians' second appearance in a Super 500 Series final this year after they defeated Indonesia's world number 4 pair, Fajar Alfian, Rian Ardianto, in the Indonesian Masters in January. However, hopes of securing a second title on the trot came to an end for Pearly Tan and M. Tina in the semi-finals of the women's doubles event. The world number 4 pair suffered a 16-21, 21-15, 14-21 defeat at the hands of Paris Olympics gold medalist Jia Yifan and her new partner Zhang Shuxian from China after a grueling 74-minute clash. Meanwhile, the BA of Malaysia, BAM, has formally lodged a complaint to the Badminton World Federation, BWF, on the alleged bad umpiring by Swiss Peter Meszaros, which affected Aaron Tai and Kang Kai Sing's performance against Denmark's Rasmus Kaja Fredrik Søgaard during a men's double second-round match at the Malaysia Masters on Friday. BAM Secretary General Datuk Kenny Goh said 3 decisions that went against world number 58 duo during the critical stages were believed to have impacted the outcome and fair play. He stressed that it is imperative for BWF to conduct a thorough review of officiating standards, emphasizing that as fairness and integrity must be upheld in every match. The formal complaint has been submitted along with video evidence and detailed match documentation to BWF. Although the outcome of the match will not be overturned, BM stated the need to uphold sportsmanship and professionalism and has urged BWF to take swift and transparent action to address the issue to prevent similar incidents in future. On to tennis, the 2025 Geneva Open. Novak Djokovic moved to the brink of his 100 ATP Tour level title after recovering from a second set blip to beat British qualifier Cameron Norrie for a spot in the final on Friday. The former world number 1 bounced back from a mid-match dip to secure a 6-4, 6-7, 6-1 victory, keeping his title hopes alive at the clay court ATP 250 event in Geneva. Djokovic, who turned 38 on Thursday, unleashed 11 aces and 34 winners in the match that lasted for 2 hours and 15 minutes. In Saturday's championship match in Geneva, Djokovic will have a shot at hitting the century mark when he takes on 6th seed Hubert Hurkacz, whom he owns a 7-0 lead in their ATP head-to-head series. Earlier, Hurkacz produced a serving masterclass to dispatch qualifier Sebastian Offner 6-3, 6-4. The Pole won 88% of points behind his first delivery and fired 7 aces en route to reaching his 12th ATP Tour title. But before we go, let's take a look at humanoid robots taking center stage, showcasing cutting-edge technologies and combat skills in the world's first robot fighting competition. I'm Zahir. Kelvin Abdullah, thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your weekend.